special you recall, you remember about Namibia? The first thing it comes into your mind when you think about it. The food, the people, the landscapes.
Oh, tutto.
Everything.
Everything.
Did you enjoy the food there? Was it good? The cuisine, the local food?
I don't remember now.
Can't remember. I see. Because I didn't expect a lot of good food in South Africa. Because I mean, I've been to the Netherlands, I've been to other English-speaking countries, and I was like, yeah, probably the food is not gonna be the best in the world, But overall, I enjoyed the food so much because I think it should be similar in Namibia because that's the German influence, and then of course the traditional African food. I guess that also like I don't know, the carrot related kind of food. For example, in South Africa, carrot people have their own kind of food. For example, they have Cape Malay food that's similar to the one from Malaysia, but with South African influence. Carrot people even have like local Cape Townian food. For example, one of the dishes we were talking about the previous lessons, the Gatsby, is like the staple of carrot food from of carrot people from South Africa. So every ethnic group has its own kind of food. For example, Afrikaans people, most of the times they eat more or less the same food we eat, like, I don't know, salads, hamburgers, meat, like, traditional European meat, like entrecote, or those kind of meats. While the food carrot people eat is, as I said, similar to the Indian one, or anyway quite spicy, actually really spicy. And well, the black African people, they usually eat more, diversified foods. They have like their own ethnic food. They even have some kind of beer. I never saw it before. It was like a white beer. It's not like the beer we know in Europe or in the West. I can't remember the name, but I think it's like a traditional Kosa beer or something like that. I'm gonna look, or Zulu beer, I'm not sure. I'm gonna check. Yeah, that's the one. I didn't taste it. I wanted to taste it, but in the end, I couldn't find a place selling it and I forgot. I'm gonna show you on the video, on the screen, this beer. I don't know if you saw it before. It's like whitish and it's so different from the standard beer. Did you see it before in Namibia?
No.
I don't know if it's just I don't know. I know it's a Zulu drink, but I don't know if you'll find it all over Zulu speaking communities in Africa, or if it's just South African thing. I don't know, but it was quite I don't know, quite unusual to see it, to watch it in the videos or to hear it in the news. But in the end, I couldn't explore the traditional black culture in South Africa that much. It's a pity, but maybe next time I'll deep into the local African cuisine, the local black cuisine. But the Cape Malay cuisine and the Indian cuisine there was amazing. I love spicy food. I love Indian food, and I was so happy about being able to find really cheap Indian food in in it doesn't matter where you go, pretty much everywhere you'll find good spicy food and good Indian food at least in Cape Town. Did you ever try some traditional African food? I don't know, maybe even Ethiopian food. I know that in Milan there are many Ethiopian restaurants. You didn't?
I didn't. I never eat nothing about Africa.
Because I tried, injera, like the traditional Ethiopian and Eritrean bread before, and the cuisine from Ethiopia is so good. And in Cape Town, you could find many Ethiopian restaurants. The ones in Milan are good. The food is quite tasty, but oh my gosh, in Cape Town, the Ethiopian food was way better, delicious. And even I don't know, even pizza, even like Italian kind of food, like the way we eat, like salads, pizza. I didn't try pasta. Unfortunately, I didn't try pasta. But well, I tried the Malay noodles, like the traditional Cape Malay noodles, and they were so good. But I didn't try the Italian pasta. But all the food I tried, almost everything was so good. Anyway, um, is there any dish from outside Italy some of you is really fond of, like hamburgers or I don't know,
I found of paella.
paella?
Paella, meat or fish is the same. Cioè is, I like meat paellas, but also fish.
I see. Nice. I I really enjoy Spanish food because I've been living in Spain for 8 months. And the food is I
Yeah.
can't compare it to the Italian one, but it's pretty solid. It's really good, yeah. Especially the regional cuisines. For example, I've been in you'll find most of the best foods from Spain, like I don't know, like the seafood is great there. The empanadillas, they are similar to the Italian calzone, but they are smaller, or like the panzerotto more or less because they are fried. But pretty much everywhere, even in the UK, I think that if you know where to go, if you dig in, if you look around, you'll find many good places. Uh, for example, one of my favorite British dishes, well, of course, fish and chips, but also I'm gonna write it because you probably never heard it before. So wait, okay. There are two um, kinds of food. They are similar. One is the Cornish pasty, and the other one is the minced pie. You'll find them in the supermarkets, in the bakery, and they are similar to the empanada, to the panzerotto. I'm gonna show you. They are usually quite cheap. It's a healthy food, a really good food you can enjoy pretty much whenever you want to. If you go, I don't know, if in the city center, you'll find many bakeries selling them, both of the dishes. That's the Cornish pasty. It's originally from Cornwall, but you'll find it everywhere in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, especially in South England, it's quite common. The other one is the minced pie. The shape is different, but the taste is quite similar. No, that's not this one. The one I know, it's not sweet. It's I can't remember the name. I thought it was the mince pie. Minced. It is, yeah, this one. It would be interesting to watch web recipes or programs about cooking in the English-speaking countries such as Jamaica, the United States, Australia, the United Kingdom, Ireland, to get to know the local dishes, how different they are according on the region or on the country. Did you have the chance of trying, I don't know, the food from my English-speaking country before? As I said, maybe even fish and chips or hamburgers, States or whatsoever? Nobody?
Yes, I do. I did.
What did you?
I was in the States and I've eaten much meat, hamburger, yes, with chips and specialties from all over the world, I must say. There was a night dedicated to something special, but now I don't remember exactly. It was nice, I must say.
I see. a night dedicated to something in particular, like traditional American dish, or something like, I don't know, the Cinco de Mayo, where they eat Mexican food.
Mexican food, yes.
Mhm.
No, it was say on Wednesday, oh dear, Tuesday something, Wednesday something else, Friday something else. Mm.
Mhm.
I liked also guacamole. Wow.
Ah,
They usually have like the tortilla with guac, as they call it,
Yes,
guacamole.
yes, yeah, and fried fish.
Mhm.
And what else? No, now I don't remember exactly, but a variety of specialties, really interesting. Indian, stuff like
Mhm.
that. Mm-mm.
I see. Did you try
Italian, of course. There was a night for the Italians.
like the so-called Italian food, like the Italian American food, like fettuccine alfredo, spaghetti with meatballs, or the so-called Italian?
But really, I was in an hotel where there was an Italian cook, so there was no problem. But the cuisine was mainly from around the world. I mean, from everywhere. And
National cuisine.
see, yes, exactly,
Mm.
international. Nice breakfast and so on. Yeah, yeah.
I
And
see.
also the sweets. Mm, the cakes very high. Mm,
The apple pie,
incredible. Apple
the
pie,
traditional.
yeah, sure. True.
Did you ever try like the PBJ sandwich, the peanut butter jelly sandwich?
Could be, but no. How say it again, please?
I'm gonna
I,
write it.
hmm?
It's a really American thing to prepare. Well, it's not really to cook, but it's like a sandwich called PBJ,
Oh no.
peanut butter
Peanut butter, yeah, yes, sure.
jelly
Wow,
sandwich.
crunchy.
Yeah.
I took a small bottle to Italy, but I think now there is everything here.
Yeah, you can find peanut butter pretty much everywhere nowadays in the
Mm,
Italian supermarkets. You
yeah,
know the the glass container where
yeah,
you can find jelly or those kind of ingredients. It's called jar in English.
yeah, yeah, sure.
So the peanut butter jar.
Mm, mm, mm,
Anyway, the PBJ it's so
mm.
common. I've never been to the States, but I mean, I watched so many American movies, and I mean, American culture, especially if you can speak English, and I don't know, for example, you watch YouTube videos, American culture is so common, nowadays, even in Italy. So even if you don't go to the United States, it's quite easy to know American like cuisine or culture, I don't know, the different routine they have there from compared to here. It's
Yeah,
quite
the environment is mainly as you see in the movies.
yeah
I mean, no car around, no car parked in the streets, but inside. And I
yeah
remember that once I was crossing the road, not at the fireworks, no, come si dice il semaforo? Fire?
The traffic light.
A traffic light. I was, I wanted to cross not properly. So I saw a car stopping 20 meters far from me. He was shocked.
Yeah.
They are special, really.
I see. They don't have like the jaywalking culture there.
What does it
jaywalking.
mean? Jaywalking.
It's walking illegally where you are not supposed to walk, or going through the street when the traffic light is red. It's quite. I mean, in some countries, I know that, for example, even in Singapore, you can be arrested, for jaywalking.
I was in Singapore many years ago, many years ago. Nice.
Well, I see.
But now it's everything. It's all changed, I think.
I can imagine. Yeah, it's still an English Commonwealth country, if I'm not mistaken. So there must be like a English, well, British influence, like you find it in Australia, or South Africa, in the other, British Commonwealth countries. It's quite interesting to see. For example, in South Africa, how different it is. But sometimes when you speak to some people, the accent is quite similar. I believe it's called Commonwealth English. The kind of accent they have, and the kind of English they speak it in some of the former colonies. Anyway, where have you been to in the United States? In which region? In which state?
I went. I have been.
Which region? Which part?
Coast to coast by bus for 22 days.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
I was in Florida.
In Florida. Which part?
Clearwater, Tampa.
I see. I was supposed to go to Florida last year, but with all the pandemics, with all the pandemics craziness, I to go there, and in the end, I've been to Cape Town instead. But originally, I was supposed to go to Miami.
By now, if you want to go there, you can't, because you come from not straight from Europe, but instead you have to stay 15 days, say in Mexico or whatever, and then go there and stay and do another quarantine in America before you start anything. It's incredible. I wanted to go. It's impossible.
And moreover, you need to pay for a special visa, for long extended visa, even if you wanna stay for a shorter period, while before you just needed, for example, to study English in the US, you just needed a short-term study visa. It was so easy, you just how can I say that in English? You just fill the form online, and in a couple of days, the immigration, the customs, they just answer you back saying, okay, your request has been proceeded. You can go, or your request has been denied, But most of the time, I heard that for English students, it's so easy to go to the United States for a short term. Yeah. And in South Africa, it was quite crazy to me, because I've never been alone, without an organized tour abroad, well, outside of the EU. And I thought, okay, I'm going to Africa. They probably will ask me so many questions, so many different things. Well, the only thing they asked me, was for the corona test, for the COVID test. They just wanted to see all the forms, the paper with all the information. And I had to fill a form where I specified where I was staying and what I was doing there. I just had to tell the officer, at the customs desk that I was gonna stay there for 3 weeks, and that was it. Easy peasy, so easy. I don't know why, but I expected it to be way harder, way more difficult to travel outside of Europe, during Corona times. Well, probably if you want to go to other countries like the US, uh, I I bet it's way harder to go there, even if you have all the papers, nowadays I think that there it's not that easy. But in South Africa, probably because, the situation wasn't as bad as, in Europe, but you only needed, like the VATS papers, the vaccination paper, not the vaccination, sorry, the COVID test papers, and that was it. So could you try could you eat the Cuban sandwich?
No, not really. I don't remember.
I know it's like a specialty all over Florida, but in Miami, it's quite a big thing, the Cuban sandwich.
Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
I was a little bit higher, più in alto. How do you say?
Yeah,
Tempo.
I see. You were farther in the north.
Yeah, exactly. Farther in the north. But on the Mexican Gulf.
On a Mexican?
Gulf? Sul Golfo?
On the Mexican Gulf, okay.
Gulf.
I see. Nice.
And by the way, when you were in Singapore, did you see the Raffles building?
I've never been to Singapore.
Okay.
I wanna go there. I said that I heard that Commonwealth English, so the English spoken in Canada, Australia, South Africa, Singapore, Hong Kong, is quite similar, the kind of English, the accent, slang.
Yeah.
That was the thing I wanted to say. But I've never been, I've been to very few places outside of Europe. I've been to Turkey, I've been to Tunisia, Egypt, and South Africa. That's it. They are the only countries I visited outside of.
You are so young.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that young. I wanted to visit so many places. For example, I wanted to go to Australia, New Zealand, especially English-speaking countries, because when I'm traveling to another country, I don't like to be a tourist, I just want to experience the reality, get in touch with local people, have an insight how the situation is in the country. So it's not, if you don't go to an English-speaking country, or to a country where you can understand the language, it's gonna be so hard, to have a fully understanding of the, of the life, of the local life, the lifestyle, the I don't know. It's not that
Unless
easy.
unless you have some friends over there, maybe.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. For example, last time I was abroad for a longer period in Greece. I was 1 month in Greece. I couldn't speak the language, but
Mm.
most of the people there speak English. They
Yes.
speak really good English. So it's quite easy. They are really open-minded. Greek people. They are
Yeah.
talkative. So it's quite easy to understand the local culture. But I don't know. When I've been to Germany, I can speak a tiny bit of German, but understand the culture is not that easy. And I can imagine if you go, I don't know, to Japan or countries where the culture is really different. If you can't speak the local language, it's gonna be so hard, to fully understand how the country works. And many, I don't know, many things about one country you can only understand if you can communicate freely, with the local people. For example, in South Africa, I could learn many things, because I could communicate with my family, other local South Africans. But it's not that easy, to have that chance everywhere in the world. For example, in the UK, I've been many times, but I don't know the local culture that much, because even the first times I've been to the UK, I was really young, and I was, studying. But in the UK, it's not to get to fully know the local culture, because they keep the distance. You know how the British are.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm. So I don't know, it's a thing I like to do when I'm traveling. Well, for in the future, when the whole pandemic situation will be over, I'd like to visit so many, English-speaking countries, especially Ireland. I wanted to, I've been wanting to visit Ireland for several years now.
Iceland. Wow.
Ireland.
Ireland. Okay.
Yeah. But both sides, northern part, the Republic of Ireland, but also the Northern Ireland, the side which is part of the UK.
Mhm.
I wanna visit, Belfast, Londonderry, Cork, many different cities.
Mhm.
Anyway, was it easy for you to understand, to communicate with people in the US, in Florida?
Yes. Yeah, sure. They were able to understand everything. Yes, I remember once I was looking for I don't know, somebody told me to buy aloe, so I went there and I asked for aloe, and she couldn't the lady couldn't understand, and she said, aloe, yes, aloe. So they try to understand. Normally, yes.
Mm-mm. Yeah, but of course, the accent is different.
Mm.
It's it happens all the time, even to me, even in Cape Town. sometimes when I ask for local food, at the supermarkets, it's not easy to have other people to understand you. Like, for example, the beef jerky. You know what the beef jerky is?
Not really. What is
It's
this?
dried meat.
Ah,
In South Africa, that's the way they call it. I
mm,
think the pronunciation is biltong or something like that. And
mhm.
when I was asking for it at the supermarket, even if it's a word they use in South African English, and while I was speaking English and I'm trying to understand it, to pronounce it properly, they couldn't understand it. I had to, to show somebody, like a supermarket employee, on Google, on my phone, the picture of the food. Otherwise, they couldn't understand and they
Uh,
couldn't point.
Once we were three girls, like that, and they asked me to ask for prosciutto crudo, and so I was trying to find the translation. No way, no way. And you know what? They say Parma.
Yeah, they call it Parmesan or even prosciutto. They pronounce it the words different. I think they say like prosciutto or something like that. They know the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask for Italian food, most of the times they're gonna use the Italian name,
Yeah.
especially in the US. Like, the
Parmesan.
the Parmesan cheese, they also call it Parmigiano,
Ah, yeah.
mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella, they call it Maz, but also mozzarella.
Also, Acqua San Pellegrino is very known
Yeah.
in fashion.
Especially in the bigger cities, Italian food, Italian dreams are so common.
Oil,
Yeah, the olive oil. Yeah.
olive oil.
I had one funny experience, talking about like English in English speaking countries. I was in Northern England, in York, and I talked. I was looking, for some sparkling water.
Mm-hmm.
You can also call it fizzy water in British English.
Uh-huh.
Can't remember if they write. No, I think it's written this way. Yeah, I think so. And
Fizzy, yeah.
I asked it. I don't know why. Probably because it was the closest place I've been to a Starbucks, cafe, asking for fizzy water. Because I heard, yeah, that's the word they use it in England, and the bartender, the barista, couldn't understand me, and I was like, "Fizzy water, please," and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Fizzy water, please," and she was like, "We don't have any fishy water, fishy water here," and I then, realized she wasn't from England; she was Scottish. Because York is in Northern England, so Scotland is not that far away, and you'll find many Scottish people living there. And it was so funny, especially because it was many years ago, so my English wasn't the best, and I was like, probably that something wrong with my accent. And in that case, it wasn't me. It was just, like the accents and the slangs. Many times the slang, even in the UK, slang can change. Right.
Meaning?
you know? Yeah. The language diversity, you know, in the UK is quite, you know, it's quite huge. It's quite big across the on what Euro. Anyway, what about the other students?
I wanted to add that in America they like very, very much Italy. Not
Yeah.
only in America, I must say, everywhere.
Most of the times, you know, when you say you're Italian, they have that big smile on their faces. Yeah. I know that. Anyway, what about the other students? Do you have any interesting experience in English-speaking countries?
I can tell that I met last summer a boy here in Milan, but he was from Australia. And he understand me, I understand him, and he said also amazing, like the CD of English, and I laughed at him when he said this word.
Amazing. Did you laugh?
He said amazing.
The accent, I see.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you know, as I said before, in Australia, you know, the accent is gonna be quite similar to the British one. They have this, I don't know, British sounding accent. It's sometimes it's quite funny to hear because it's similar to the one in the UK, but they have their own twist, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you could understand anything, everything perfectly.
I don't know. I think yes. I think yes.
Alessandro, can I tell you what happened to me many years ago, say 20 years ago, always in America? I had a small radio, I think a transistor, and after a while, say 20 days, 1 month, so the one earphone was broken. And I was a little bit upset. I didn't know what to do. I said, okay, I go where I bought it. It was a small mall. And I asked the lady, I've broken this earphone. And she immediately answered me, do you want a new one or do you want the money? Without asking me for the ticket, nothing. And I said, oh, yes, I want another one. And she gave it to me. And she threw away that one immediately. Incredible, huh? They are very, I think they are on the side of the customers. Or maybe they have insurances, I don't know, but you can change what you want. Last time I was there, I bought some shoes and I wasn't sure because of the size, you know, it's different over there, 5, 6, and so on. No? And the man told me, take, and if it's not okay, you come here and you change. But I said, but change how? I use it and then, yeah, no problem. Incredible, eh?
Yeah, they have a customer service culture. I heard it's quite different there. Mm-mm.
You
Yeah.
heard something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite, I don't know, if you're not used to it, it's quite funny to think about it, but I guess, it's normal for them. It's just different, each country has its own, differences and its own, I don't know, cultural influences and different aspects. And in the US, I guess that they have like those kind of policies, when the the customer is always right.
Yeah.
That's the way they think.
I was used to go there almost once per year. And one time I bought shoes for my niece. No, how do you say? Nipote?
Nipote di zia?
Sì, no, mia nipote, sì.
Sì, ma nipote di zia, non nipote di...
Ah no,
okay.
di nonna, io sono nonna.
Come?
No, nipote come nonna. Ah,
Grandota.
Grandota, giusto. Sorry. So I bought these shoes for my granddaughter, and now I will never buy any more shoes in America because of the size, too different. And so they were not good. And 1 year later, I could change them. Incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Sì.
Actually, from the other side of the world, of
Sì.
the ocean, they just... Wow, nice. Yeah, but
in that case, I had the ticket and everything. They were a little bit like that, but it was okay.
Noce mia, mi fai morire, la lascia fuori.
anyway.
Facciamo un po' di hangman, no?
Cos'è?
Abbiamo una decina di minuti, sì. Yeah, we can play the Hangman.
Dai.
About 5 minutes.
It's perfectly.
Any suggestion? Any recommendation on some letter? You can suggest.
A.
If you want.
R.
Maybe Y. No.
No, R.
No.
No. I. L.
Yeah.
Pedonal.
Excuse me?
Pedonal, no. P.
Nope.
Ah, no. Allora, pedonale in Italia. Medical.
Medical. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
R?
Let me check. No.
No. A?
I think I know it.
Wholesale. No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
WH?
Yeah.
Wholesale.
Okay.
Skate? No.
Great.
Crate. Crate.
Do you know the meaning?
Cratere? No, non so. Vediamo. No.
It's like the imballaggio. You know,
Una cassa.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but it's
Detto che siamo quasi in vocabolario, ma qual è la differenza tra fairest, cioè la più bella, e invece most beautiful, da quello che sa lei?
Non ho sentito bene la prima parola,
Fairest, bella ma anche chiara, boh, non lo so.
Di solito è incantato più che bello. Questo dici?
Ah, ecco, incantevole.
È incantato più che incantevole, è usato più per le fate, per esempio utopico.
Infatti era una dea, ecco, vede perché.
Sì, e di solito è usato più per le fatine, per appunto, le creature mitologiche, non è qualcosa di usato tanto, cioè è usato in un contesto molto specifico come parola.
Ecco, sì. Era riferito alla mail che Paride doveva dare a una delle tre dicendo appunto la più bella, e io poi ho pensato perché non ha detto the most beautiful, e adesso lei me l'ha spiegato.
Sì, comunque per dire bello o bella in inglese ci sono molti aggettivi, non come da noi che abbiamo un unico appunto aggettivo. Sarebbe bello magari una di queste lezioni approfondire appunto i vari modi per dire bello in inglese, quelli che vengono utilizzati solo magari per gli oggetti, quelli che variano dal maschile al femminile per le persone. Magari nelle prossime lezioni ci sarà modo.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, it would be interesting. Anyway, the lesson is almost over. Next week, we won't be here. The lesson will be not next week, the following one. Because next week, we have Easter. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, is there anything else?
Tom.
You're gonna spend Easter at home?
Tom. I
Sì.
had to go to Liguria, and today they told that it's possible to go only 2 days. Tomorrow is not possible.
Yes.
We stay at home, no? Very correct. The government is very correct. They told today for tomorrow, for today.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, it's quite a mess nowadays. Trust me, everywhere you go, it's gonna be like that. One day is like that. The following day is completely different. For example, you know, when I was in South Africa, they were, you know, there was like a, how do you call it? Like a phase 5, you know, of the coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
and you know they were supposed to like to have a public speaking, the presidents, a public speech to communicate what, you know, the new situation would have been, and he communicated but not even 12 hours before. He said it like it was, I think it was like 7 p.m. or maybe even 8 p.m. I'm not sure, or 8:30. I can't remember. And you know, beginning from midnight, so from midnight, oh, everything changed, you know,
Ah,
and not
nice.
even, you know, in not even 3 hours or whatever, you know, yeah, 3 hours, everything changed. And they just said it 3 hours before all this situation, you know. And it was almost time, you know, um, for the curfew, you know. It was almost curfew time, and they just communicated, you know, last minute. The president saying, you know, a lot of words like, okay, you have to, we've done the best we could for our country, for the, you know, the situation to improve and everything. And in the end, you know, they just communicated, they just say
Okay.
last minute.
Wow.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but it's the way it is.
Ah,
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lesson today, today's lesson.
yes, thank you. And but what about you for Eastern? Where are you going?
Well, the the day of Easter, I'm gonna stay home with my family. But
Mhm.
the day before and the day after Easter, well, maybe just the day before, I'm gonna visit my girlfriend
Uh-huh.
who lives in Brescia.
Uh,
And last time I saw her, it was before going to South Africa. So it was like more than 2 months ago. It was like 3 months ago or
oh
something.
la la.
So, you know, nowadays you can't travel around freely even in your own region. So it is how it is how it is. That's the way they
Ah,
say it in English, you know.
okay.
Anyway,
Enjoy.
thank you.